the show this morning, another cost of living blow for Aussies households to fork out hundreds more for power as rebates switch off, despite these promises.
$275. It will see electricity prices fall from the current level by $275 for households by 2025.
Energy bills, which will be $275 for the average house, lower in 2025.
It's not a coalition election ad, but is it? Joining us to discuss today's headlines, ALP National President Wayne Swan and Independent MP Dai Le. Wayne, get used to that. Broken promises do cost elections sometimes.
Well, one of the reasons we've provided energy price relief is precisely because of the inflation in energy prices that has happened globally, and it's happened in Australia, and now it's been aggravated by the breakdown and clapped out coal-fired power stations. So we've got to deal with the practical realities. We've provided some relief. We understand that it's hurting people, and we know that there's only one long-term solution. That is much more renewable and reliable power from wind and solar. That's the only solution.
The Australian Energy Regulator said yesterday partly this decision to raise prices is due to low solar and wind output that drove higher price events.
Sure. And we need a lot more of it, and we need more storage and transmission. That's what the regulator was saying yesterday. We've got to get cracking and get a lot more capacity in the system. The answer is not to somehow sort of continue to use these clapped-out coal-fired power stations, or for that matter, go to something which is much more expensive, which is nuclear.
How's that broken promise sit with you?
Well, what occurred in the world was something that we've had to cope with. And we have done that by providing energy price relief. $300 last year, $270 the year before in terms of a means test.
And it'll come, we'll get to that in a second.
This is a failed Labor government policy. And I have been calling the government to actually have a reform of the energy market. The AEC is supposed to regulate and look after consumers, making sure that price is stable. What they're doing is actually they're price fixing for retailers. And 9% increase, honestly, this is just going to be, it's going to really hurt, not just hurt, kill a lot of families. In terms of, it's just, it's ridiculous. It's more than ridiculous.
Well, should Chris Bowen be sacked, Di?
Well, I'm not going to call him for a sacking of anybody, but I think I'm calling for the government to really look at how they can reform the energy market. And absolutely, this is a failed government policy, pushing for renewables, which has really caused this increase in energy
Renewables are not the problem. We need more of them.
They're contributing.
They're contributing to it. Basically,
because we don't
the whole
actually have enough.
Market.
If you don't want renewable energy and you want coal-fired power stations, then that'll send prices right through the roof.
No, it
We've
won't.
got to deal with the reality. Yes, it will.
No, it won't.
Absolutely will.
Won't. No,
and that's the problem.
We've got to keep rolling. We've got to keep rolling, guys. There's plenty more to fall out from Trump's tariffs. The government finding out we'd missed out on the exemption from a press conference. Just confirms we've got not much of a relationship and certainly no influence with the president's inner circle. Even Kevin Rudd knows it.
We're up against a deep ideological, strategic view of this Trump administration that they intend not to produce qualifications from the positions on tariffs that they undertook in the last administration because of their deep view of their relationship with the rest of the world and the global economy.
This is Kev's simple way of saying no dice. Big Kev's as useful as an empty sauce bottle, Wayne.
It's hard right ideology, and that's what he was pointing to, which is weaponising trade. It's throwing out the window the basic laws of economics. It's ignoring economic reality. And the tragedy here is a lot of tension between Europe, the United States, and we are living with the fallout of that.
Albo said buy Aussie made. The problem is Dick Smith tried that die a couple of years ago and Aussies didn't go for it. More cost of living pressure.
It's a lot of costs, and obviously producing here, cost is very high, of course. Would love to support Australian-made products, and I do that, trying to support local manufacturing. But, you know, our government is not really supporting local
Well, that's not true. We've got a whole Australian-made program.
Well, it's not
and we need people to actually get behind it. We need people like you, Di, to support it in the Parliament.
I support local manufacturing. I support local, very small business.
Because we've got a program for you, and I hope you vote for it.
Well, right. I did.
And it sounds like something's coming in the budget.
So we got one.
It sounds like something's coming in the budget, as well as prolonged energy rebates. Finally, the visa of a US influencer is now under review after she posted a video of herself separating a wombat joey from its mother. Now, that's just terrible. It's a terrible situation, what she did. But does anyone remember last year when Home Affairs refused to cancel the visas of 66 criminal non-citizens, rapists, murderers, pedophiles? But, hey, Wombat girl, you're out, Wayne.
What do you want me to say about it? That we shouldn't cancel the visa?
Well, I think...
Is that the point?
I don't... Well, if you compare them, I mean, it's ridiculous, the comparison.
Well, I don't accept the comparison. And like most Australians, I'm pretty fond of furry animals.
Do tell, Wayne.
Well, you can see it in the public reaction.
You die quickly?
Look, I don't think cancelling the visa is I mean, it's poor Wombat, and that woman we should just educate tourists in terms of our wild animals and our furry animals.
Don't lock her up.
No.
Anyway, they have a different view of this stuff in the country. Thank you.